Hello beautiful people, thank you for stopping by my channel. Today I just left books in Barnes and Nobles, so I'm going to be making a vlog, not a weekly vlog. This is going to be something completely different. I'm going to be making a vlog for tomorrow's event. So today I went and got the last bit of books that I needed to get for North Texas Book Festival. That's happening tomorrow, and I am looking forward to going. Right now I'm picking up my kid and I am going to enjoy movie night with my daughter. And while I'm doing that, I already have a list of all of the authors that I want to that I want signatures from, and to go to what event. They have like a PDF file that tells you everything and when the events are and what authors, the panels. So, and of course I'm going to support everybody Black or BIPOC, and I want to sit down, I want to sit in their panels, and I want to experience it. This will be my first event thing, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna get my kid. Let me show you what book I got her. Hopefully she's excited. I got this book. It's called Why Not You by Sierra and Russell Wilson. And my daughter's waving her arms. Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I got this. I got All Is Well because it was 50% off. And then I have Gallant, which is a small book. There's some illustrations in here too. So hopefully I can get that signed. I know there's gonna be a crazy line for that, but yeah, that's what I got today. And yeah, that will be in a future book haul, but I will talk to you guys later.
Which point of view was easier for you to write, or was there one, or different things that you would do to like get in a certain character's head, and then maybe the other one? How did you get your parents to support your writing?
Three careers, which are like, what is it? Doctor, engineer, and failure.
But so many authors are moving there too. Like Tiffany Jackson lives there now, Angie Thomas lives there now. I'm trying to think of some of the others.
I did not film an intro for today, and we wrapped up the event for North Texas Book Festival, Teen Book Festival. when I tell y'all, this is my first time going to an event, a book event. When I tell y'all I had so much fun, I had so much fun. I had so much fun. I am tired. My back hurts. I was lugging books around. There's probably like 15 books in between my backpack and my bag. And it was nothing but love. It was beautifully done. Everything was on time. The panels were amazing. I got to meet Kels on Instagram. Oh God, she is amazing. And I took a picture and my locks are just like all in her face. But it was amazing. It was amazing. There were so many giveaways, so many free books given, so many swags and art prints and just arcs given out. The authors, amazing. I can't wait to tell y'all some more stories, but I want to get off my phone and use my actual professional camera before I start doing anything like that. I have literally a bag full of just like swag and bookmarks, free books, mask. There were so many free like sampler chapters and, like I said, art print. Just so much stuff, and I'm so tired. I am so tired, but we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna pull out the camera. We're gonna talk about it. I just had so much fun. I had so much fun. I bought 7 or 8 books while I was there. 2 of them are not mine, so but we bought some books. It was just amazing, and I can't wait to make y'all jealous, like flat out. For those who were not able to come, I am so sorry. There's something happening in South Carolina, or another event happening. I have no idea. I want to say it's in South Carolina, but the people there, we're all just like book nerds, just loving books, and the author is going in depth of like their stories and how they came up with their characters and how they world built and real life situations. We're gonna talk about it. Before we do, my daughter, I want to show off this bag real quick. That's all I'm gonna say. Because, like, flat out, every book that they had there was signed. Well, not every book. There was some that just accidentally got missed, but 99% of those books that they were selling on site were signed, and I could use my discount. If you had the physical card of your Barnes & Noble discount card, you could use your discount. But listening to the author, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna go home right now first. I'm gonna put on an audiobook. I'm gonna sit down with my crew. I'll show you guys what I got. It will probably be in a book haul as well, which I hate double doing things, but we're gonna talk about it. So yeah, I will see you guys in a bit when I am able to set up my camera and get recording. See ya. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Bree Cherie, and today I'm going to be talking about the Teen Book Fest that happened. And so I'm finally back home. It's the next day, and I want to talk to you guys about the event that I went to in Texas, in North Texas. So I was given a bunch of goodies, which I will try to show you guys individually, each and every one of them with an overview look. So I have a ton of bookmarks, ton of art prints, and different things, book samples that I received. First, to talk about the event. When I first got there, the event is free. We just had to pay for parking. When we first got there, we immediately went and got 2 free books. So there was a line, of course, and we got there a little late compared to when it started, and we missed out on the Penguin Teen books that they were giving away. But my daughter got a graphic novel. This is an advanced copy, so these are ARCs. This book comes out in May. It's called Apple Crush, and it's a graphic novel. Lucy Kinsley. But this is an ARC that comes out, and we were able to get this book. So my daughter picked out this book, and already started reading it, of course. So the next book that I ended up getting was Hope Wins, a collection of inspiring stories for young readers. And there is a bunch of authors here. This also comes out, it says Rose Brock, edited by Rose Brock. So a collection of stories by so many different authors. Again, this is an ARC that comes out in May of this year. And the cover is just stunning. Let me see if it will focus. So this is book one, or this is book one, and this is book two. So these are the first books that we got. Now the first event that we went to, so the first panel that we went to, and I will try to put in video clips as well. The first event that we went to was the 10 o'clock event, and this was World Untethered. It had Melissa Albert, JL, Stephanie Garber, Chloe Gong, Liz Hereta, Nettie Aquafor, and I'm pronouncing that so wrong. I need to like figure out how to pronounce her name. And then we also had V.E. Schwab, moderated by Destiny Van Put. And it was really, really good. I love the panel. I love listening to how the authors talk about their world building and how they start. They have an idea. A lot of them had an idea, and they build off of that, and that's how they create their world. Nettie is hilarious. She is so funny. Every panel I went to, which I went to both of her panels, but every panel that I went to, she was just so funny, and I just loved. She kept us engaged, and her discussions are so thoughtful, and I truly would not have thought, like, Akata Woman is a well thought out world building system that includes reality mixed with magic, African futurism. So I love how thoughtful, and like listening to her talk about it was just awesome. The next event that we went to was Dynamic Duo. Now this had Kimberly Jones in it, Gilly Siegel. Let me see. Gilly Siegel. They made a book called I'm Not Dying With You Tonight, and I love the book. Even though the characters are like just nagging and like really just made me so frustrated, I think the overall premise of that dual perspective in conversation is just really amazing. But listening to them talk as if they're really truly partners and how they work together was amazing. They do everything in person because they're both authors in Atlanta, and so they were talking about how like they rent out Airbnbs, and like that's how they get their work done is by locking themselves in an Airbnb or showing up at Gilly's house. And they also truly have like full-time jobs, and they're co-authoring books, and so love that. So that was the second event that we went to. After that, I believe we took a lunch there. After we had lunch and relaxed a little bit, we did some book shopping, and I'll show you guys those books that we bought. So every book that they had there was sponsored by Barnes & Nobles, and if you had your physical membership card or an educator card, they allowed you to get the discounts, which was pure amazing. But all of the books, most of them, there was a couple that weren't, and they set those aside, but all of the books were meant to be signed. So there was like 2 that I found that didn't have signatures on it, but for the most part, like they were all signed. And I thought that was just a great perk. Not only can we use our discounts just as if we were in a regular Barnes & Noble stores, but They all had signatures. And so that was really, really cool. So we end up going to The Adventure Awaits. Now this had Jordan Corman, Kawami Mabal, not even going to try to butcher that last name, Kawami, who wrote Tristan Strong, Lisa McMahon, Clara Bell Ortega, Justin A. Reynolds, and the dynamic was just beautiful. Listening to the authors talk about stories that we think they take something so serious like grief or something really upsetting and sad, and they turn it into this beautiful, easy to understand for children story. And so Kawami, I have a story about him I'm going to tell you guys about, but like hilarious throughout the whole thing. During that time, while we were there, we ended up getting a free, and this is called The Marvelers by Donnell Clayton, and this comes out in May of 2022. So so we end up getting a this is a arc, but it is unedited, uncorrected proof of the Marvelers. So this is a middle grade book that was given out. It does have some artwork in it, some illustrations, which I thought was super cool. There's only one book that I was a fan of when it comes to her, but hopefully a middle grade book would be just the thing. I do have her Belle books, the Belle. Just not my cup of tea, but I'm really looking forward to this. Like, it looks so good. It looks like an academia book. And I'll show you the book up close. So this is The Marvelers. It comes out May 2022. And this is a ARC edition that we got during that event with them. Now, the next event that we end up going to was a 2 o'clock event. We had to leave early from that event to go to a 2 o'clock event. The next and final event that we were able to go to, or a panel that we were able to go to, was When the Tough Gets Going. This had Melissa Albert, JL, Lacan, Zia Kemp. I will put it on the screen. And Nettie Aquafor. And this panel, this is when African futurism was brought up, and I love the way she is able to just make a crowd laugh. This is more of a serious matter, the fact that she's bringing it to our attention, the difference between Afro futurism and African futurism. I also love listening to her talk about juju. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up listening to people say, don't do that, that's bad juju. During this group, they talked about how family support was just a big thing within their book to be able to handle certain situations, and that YA, that people think that unfortunately kids experience death, kids experience hard times, kids experience traumatic events and sad and stressful times, and being able to put that in a book and add some magic to it. And I just love the discussion about being able to translate and reflect themselves in a book, even though it's hard. It's a hard discussion, and I think that goes into when we start talking about some of the banned books, when we're talking about traumatic events or grief or death or something like that, and how our kids shouldn't be reading it. But these are the things that they're experiencing, especially because of the pandemic. And they talked just a lot about just when the tough gets going, especially JL. She said, unfortunately, and her main character didn't have her main character within the first 3 pages has a death and a grief in a loss in her life, and she starts out of the gate with troubling times. And so when the tough gets going, and the rest of the book is just her trying to overcome it, these are things that our kids are experiencing, and they just add so much more to the conversation because they add their little spin on it, whether it's magic, whether it's juju, whether it's ancestor magic. I mean, like, they add this like dynamic and fictional fantasy that helps readers be able to relate and love their books at the same time because of the extra dynamic to it. And so that was that group. After that, we went ahead and walked down to the book signing. Now, V.E. Schwab had a whole keynote presentation by herself. I did not go to that. I wasn't going to go. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. So I want to talk about the books that I was able to get signed. They were giving out books like crazy, but you had to wait in a drastic amount of line. Like, the line was so long outside where they had a truck where they were giving away bags and bags of stuff, and I just could not be bothered. So first was one of the bags that we were able to get. This is Epic Reads. This is a tote bag, and it says, "Stories are universal." And I love the representation on that. So that was first thing. Second thing, of course, we have the Donnell Clayton book that we got for free. And then the other two arcs, which I've already showed you guys. Now, some of these books I purchased, and some of them I purchased there that were already signed. So let me go ahead and start with the books that I purchased there that were already signed. So I went ahead and got Gallant by V.E. Schwab. Of course, this was already signed. I was able to use my discount card and be able to purchase this book. I actually went to Barnes & Nobles and purchased this. So I'm going to take the Barnes & Nobles one back because I have a signed edition now. Then the next book is not from me, but I did purchase it. I want to basically show you a haul of the event. This is for someone else. So I'm going to show you V.E. Schwab. This is City of Ghosts by V.E. Schwab, and she signed it. She must have been there all day because I'm telling you, she had at least 6, 7, 8 books lined up. She had a whole table to herself, 2 tables, if not more, to herself of just books. There's just no way. Another book that we purchased from Barnes & Nobles while we were there was The Isle of the Lost. It looks like this. It's a graphic novel. I hope this is The Isle of the Lost. Otherwise, I'm reading that. It's a graphic novel. Super, super cool. My daughter loved it, but this signature is giving me life. That, pause here and just take a look at it. Just take a look. That kid is so cute. It even has glasses. It's so cute. So this is my daughter's book. Now I'm just going to present them in order from the time that I started signing. So all of the authors were lined up by last names, which was definitely extremely helpful with trying to get through your list. But the first one that I went to, of course, was Kimberly Jones. Now this is not a YA book. This is a YA book. Gilly Siegel and Kimberly Jones, I had both. So both of these books I brought from my home. I've already read one of them. This book I did in my recent haul back in early February. And so I just got this book, but they did sign it. It does say Bree Cherie, keep going. And then it says Gilly Siegel. So Kim signed up here. Gilly Siegel signed down there. And this is for I'm Not Dining With You Tonight. The next book I got is How We Can Win: Race History and Changing the Money Game. That's rigged. This book, this was inspired. She was talking about how this was inspired by her recent viral, well, not recent. This was inspired by her viral video that she did. If you have not seen it, please check it out. I'll see if I can find it and link it down below. It says, there is a custom note to me. It says, you are the win. A love of words is a love of humanity. Kimberly Jones. Yes, these books are custom. And I love the personalization. And I know that the bigger name people struggled with that. But next book, which I'm going to have to fix this dust jacket because I end up buying this there. I actually have 2 of them. And this one is a gift. Or not a gift. I'm mailing that off to someone. And this one is for me. So this one I had signed for me and my daughter. So to Bree Cherie and my daughter. And it says, chaos is something. USMB. I'm not sure. It's a quote in the book. I'm not sure what it's supposed to say. But my name is right here. And this is a sentence, a quote from the book with her signature. Again, when we first bought her book, the book came with her signature because we bought it at Barnes & Noble's. There. So, I'm going to fix this dust jacket. This one is being mailed to a friend, so I'm not going to share her personalized gift because I really want her to be able to. I think she already seen it, but it is a lot better than mine. After we went there, we went to Justin A. Reynolds. Not Jason, Justin A. Reynolds. Completely different person. We went there and I had him sign my book. I recently hauled this last month. Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. He said, Bree Cherie, stay true to yourself and to your wildest dreams always. So he ended up crossing out opposite of and stay true to your wildest dreams always. And I think it's just such an extra touch to it. But I love that he just wrote such a sweet message on there. Now, I have a story with this next book. I have a story, but I'm gonna wait till I get to Kwame's book. Guys, okay, first of all, Black Boy Joy by Kwame. There are 17 stories. There are multiple authors in this book. Multiple. Here goes a list of all of the authors that have written short stories inside of this book. Now, at the top, it says, Alec, protect your joy. You deserve it. Justin. As you can see, I have a note placed back here where Justin's story is. Did he sign back there? No. He signed at the front. So I'm going to tell you about a story. Either way, I have 2 author signatures in this book. And I'm never getting rid of this book. I mean, first of all, why would I? Because this cover is just radiating happiness. Pure happiness. It just makes me smile. Again, here goes all of the authors who have signed the book. So, after we hit Justin, who signed the top of this book, after we hit Justin's booth, after I left Justin A. Reynolds, I went to Nnedi Okorafor, and I've been pronouncing her name wrong this whole time, and I am so sorry. I feel awful. Now, her booth was right next to Justin's. Now, when I show you guys this book, do not get jealous, okay? Do not get jealous. I have never had, this is my first time going to an event. This is my first time going to an event. And I only brought one of out of my 3 books in this trilogy. And I really wish I would have snagged some of her, I think she had a graphic novel there. I really wish I would have grabbed one of those, because what she has done to change my life is not only create this series and talked about African, not Afro, futurism, life-changing. So this is the Akata woman. I have to show this part first. Because when she was talking to me and we were talking about locks and we were talking about juju and just having that conversation, she started turning my book over and drawing on my book. And I felt, I was trying not to be rude because there was people behind me, and if you know me, you know me. I'm just like a stickler on being mindful of others and the people around me. First of all, she said her hair is down to her waist, and before she trimmed it, it was down to her ankles. And that, let alone, is amazing because hello, locks. And she has freeform locks, so we were talking about that. But she started drawing on my book, like, and she was just holding the pages tight, and she started drawing. These are symbols that are similar to what's in the book, so if you know, you know. I have not read this, but the signature, it says to Brie Cherie, and it has Nettie. Life-changing. Come on. Hands down. I should have brought my other books. I should have. Because this is truly a gift, and I love her books. I really do. Her YA series, but I have every intention. She was telling me how babies are born with locks, and I put it on my to-do list to look up this week. I'm a list person, so don't judge me. But she's so full of knowledge. And does she have her PhD yet? Does anybody know? Because I feel like I should be calling her doctor at this point, because I know she was working on it. Next person I went to after her was Kawami. Now, Kawami signed Tristan Punches the Sky. We already have this book, so I brought this book from home. It has my daughter's name on the front, and it also has his signature at the bottom. It says "Stay Strong," which is such a good touch, and just goes with the theme of the book, of course. But this book has been loved, and yeah, it's just going through it. But yeah, so we went to him. He signed this book. Rewind. I'm so sorry. I got free books from Justin. Let me rewind. Okay, so before we left Justin's, and we were talking to him about, Black Boy Joy, and he then reached underneath his desk and grabbed the new book that comes out in April. So this comes out April 5th. It says, it's the end of the world and I'm in my bathing suit. And Pat, my daughter, points out, he's like, he doesn't have a shirt on. I was like, a lot of boys' bathing suits don't have shirts, baby. But this is the ARC edition of his book. And it says this for 8 to 12-year-old, comes out April 5th. And so inside, both of these books are custom, and this says, Brie Cherie, don't forget your suit, Justin R. And it says, happy surviving, which I don't think you'll be able to see. And this one is for my daughter. It says, her name, Don't Forget Your Suit, Happy Surviving, which is just such an awesome touch to the books. I love that. So we got those. So Kawami signed his book, and then we went over and I had him sign Black Boy Joy. Now, when we were at Justin's table, Justin said, I am so glad that you came to us because Kawami tries to take over the whole page. And just because his name is on the front, this is what he said. Just because his name is on the front of the cover does not mean that he gets to take up the whole page. And I'm looking at my daughter's like this. He signs Tristan Strong. We then hand him this book, which is already signed because I bought this from Barnes and Nobles. There. He opens the page up and he said, who did this? I said, that was Justin. And he was like, why did he take my spot? And we're like, we tried to get him to sign his story because I had the little sticky note for his story. I tried to get him to sign his story, but he said that he wanted to sign in the front. So Kawami tells my daughter, he's like, do you want to go down there? You want to go run up on Justin? He's talking to my daughter. Do you want to go run up on Justin? So my daughter's like this. Yes. So him and my daughter, behind the booth of the signings, take off. Both of them take off, running towards Justin. Interrupts, like everybody's looking at us crazy first of all, because Kawami is big. He's not no short mini, no, he is big. And all you see is him running down with a little girl running behind these booths, behind the authors, and the other authors are looking at us crazy. So, and the people are looking at us crazy, and they're running down to Justin's booth. Justin is talking to like a family, and he goes up to him, why did you sign my book? Why did you sign my spot? And all Justin says is, I told him I'm so glad you came to me first, because just because your name is on the cover doesn't mean you get to sign it. We were all laughing. It was the most funniest thing ever watching them. Now I'm like, it was just amazing listening to them. He was like, I'm just so glad she came down to me, and here goes Kawami's like, that is not your spot. This is my spot. And Justin's like, just because your name is on the cover does not mean that you get the whole page. And it was the funniest thing ever. And my daughter's sitting there like, oh my God. And people are looking at us crazy, and the volunteers and the staff there were just laughing. I was like, I hope somebody got that on camera. I really hope somebody got that on camera, because my phone was dead. And oh God, it was so funny. So funny. So in this, it says, find your joy, Kim. And it says, I'm better. With a mad face. So if you look here, there's a mad face right there. It says, I'm better. Yeah. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen with two authors. And my daughter was like running with them, okay? Right in the middle. So funny. It was so funny. I mean, like, left everything. We left the books. We left everything. And just took off running towards Justin's table. And the first thing one of the volunteers says to me is like, that's going to be a memory to something for the books. That's something to remember. And I'm like, yo, I have never seen something like that before. Of course, this is my first event, but I would think that it would just be so professional and so laid back. And Kwame is like, you took my spot in my book. And they're both so silly together. And I loved it. It was truly amazing listening to them. The next and final book that I got signed was Ashes of Gold. I brought this from my house. And it says, Bree, you are amazing. And she also gave us a sticker and a couple of like swag stuff. We end up getting a tattoo. This is the sticker that she gave us. It's reflecting off of light, but yeah, so she customized that. And like I said, we got a bookmark, we got a tattoo that says Julius. We got art print as well from JL, which is super, super cool. That is. The next thing that I'm going to show you guys is like video clips of me showing you. I want to show you the art print. The art print that we got in pens. I want to show you the art print, bookmarks. There's some freebies in here. Freebie books that we got that are like chapter samplers. I want to show you guys these because I thought this was super cool. They didn't have to go out their way and provide this information. So I'm going to show you guys. And I got a couple of pens. So this is going to be cool. But yeah. That was the North Texas Teen Book Festival. And I had so much fun. I hope those who went enjoyed it. And if you have an upcoming book festival in your area, please go check it out. I look forward to doing it again. I will not be lugging around 10 books next time, but it was just an event to remember, and I loved it. I loved it. There's also a virtual one. It wasn't nearly as, obviously, as fun, but the panel discussions and the energy in the room and how they just like were able to captivate and talk to us. I just loved it. I truly, for me as a book nerd, which I take with pride, it was just an event that I will truly, truly honor. Like, I feel honored to be able to go. I feel blessed and grateful to be able to have access to be able to go, since it was 10-15 minutes from my house. It was a privilege to be able to meet such amazing people, and the stories that I'm reading their stories, I'm engaged in their stories, and being able to listen to them talk about their work and talk about and just be able to meet them in general. It was truly a blessing because they didn't have to show up. Okay. They didn't have to show up. They didn't have to come. It truly was amazing to be able to see who wrote this book that I truly loved. And like Kawami, Tristan Punches a Hole in the Sky. Me and my daughter truly loved that book. We read it we read it at night in the evening, and it was just amazing to be able to put a face with a story that, you know, that he wrote. This is the author. We talk about authors all the time in education and who wrote the book, but like knowing this story came out of your brain is truly amazing. And I just loved it. And if you have the ability to go to a book festival, definitely do it. 10 out of 10 recommend. So yeah, that is it. And I hope you guys like this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.